Previously. And every year on the date of the accident, it runs again, as a warning to others, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul.
Percy, you don't actually believe in that story, do you?
Of course he doesn't. It's just a made-up story.
Not necessarily, Thomas.
What do you mean?
Have any of you heard the real story of Timothy?
No.
I'll send you off to the graveyard.
It's Timothy! What else did you see?
He had a horrific face, and was covered in blood.
There is no way that could have happened. Percy is probably just being a scaredy engine.
He looked exactly like you.
I know, Ben. Hello? Who are you? What is so funny?
My quest is not complete.
What quest?
My quest is to send all of you to where you belong. To the scrapyard!
The next morning, the engines woke up to find Gordon and James not in the shed.
Where are Gordon and James?
Henry asked. They should be back by now, put in Percy. Last I saw, they were going to the harbor.
I'll go see if they're still there.
And Edward puffed to the harbor. When he arrived, he didn't see Gordon or James anywhere, but he did find their tenders sitting in the sidings.
That's strange,
puffed Edward.
Gordon and James would never leave their tenders behind, and even if they did, they wouldn't have gotten far.
Later on at Knapford Station, Edward was telling the other engines what he found.
That's really weird,
puffed Henry. I wonder what happened to them, added Donald. We all do, said Sir Topham Hatt. Last night, Gordon and James were last spotted waiting in the sidings next to the harbour station. Then, a strange silver grey-like tank engine puffed into the station with some coaches. And then, nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
None of the workmen seemed to remember what happened after the engine stopped at the station. It was like all of their memories were erased beyond that point.
And did you say a silver grey tank engine, sir?
Indeed I did, Edward. Why you ask?
I believe I know who you are talking about.
Who?
Timothy.
Who is Timothy?
Timothy was an E2 tank engine, just like Thomas, who used to work for the old Tidmouth, Knapford and Aylesbridge Light Railway. Sadly, though, one Halloween night, he fatally crashed off the viaduct just after Marin, killing his crew, his passengers, and himself. His remains were later sent to the scrapyard to be melted down.
But, then how is he appearing on my railway if he was scrapped?
I'm not quite sure, sir, but it appears that wasn't the first time, or even the second.
What are you talking about?
Apparently, he appeared on the Farquhar branch line, rushing towards Percy before suddenly disappearing. Then, he appeared later on the Brendan branch line, racing into Brendan docks, before suddenly disappearing again. As much as I don't want to say this, sir, I believe we might be dealing with something supernatural here.
Supernatural? Edward, in all of my years running this railway, nothing supernatural has ever happened. I do not want it to start now.
What do you suggest we do, sir?
I'm not quite sure, Edward. Perhaps we should talk to the vicar.
That's a very good idea, sir. I'll talk to him on my way down the branch line.
Thank you, Edward. Stay safe, everyone. I will talk to you all later. And Sir Topham Hatt walked away. The other engines all looked at Edward.
Edward, you seem to know a lot about Timothy. Do you mind telling us? Indeed I do, Henry, replied Edward. I will tell you all in the sheds tonight.
Just then, the guard's whistle blew, and Edward puffed away. When Edward arrived at Wellsworth, he found the vicar waiting on the platform.
Hello, Vicar,
Puffed Edward.
Hello, Edward. How are you today? I am well, thank you, but I need to talk to you about something important.
What is it?
Lately, we've been dealing with something supernatural. It appears that the ghost of Timothy has made its return to the island.
That's not good.
I was wondering if you know of any way we could deal with this.
Perhaps we could talk to it.
Vicar?
We could talk to it. We could find out why it's here, and what it wants. Perhaps understanding it better will help us get rid of it.
But how could we do it?
Wait for it to appear, then try to interact with it. Gordon and James already managed to do that.
You heard about that?
Indeed, it's all over the Sodor Times.
I'm not surprised. Well, I'd love to stay and talk, Vicar, but I must get going. The passengers aren't going to wait forever.
I'll see you later, Edward. Let me know if anything happens with Timothy. That night at the sheds, the other engines asked Edward about Timothy.
So what do you know about Timothy, Edward?
Henry asked.
Quite a lot, actually,
Edward replied.
It all began when I first arrived on Sodor, back in 1915. When I first arrived on Sodor, Timothy was one of the first engines I met. He was a kind engine, and a hard worker. Sometimes too hard. You should really take a break, Timothy. You've been working hard all day.
Isn't that what a really useful engine does, Edward?
His willingness to do so much work did help the railway, but it didn't help him. His hard and long work schedules every day meant that he didn't get very much sleep at night, and therefore, he would sometimes lash out at other engines for the smallest of things, overreacting quite a lot. This meant that the other engines started to dislike him, and would stay away from him at all costs. I, on the other hand, tried to talk to him, trying to talk him out of doing so much work, but he only lashed out at me. You can't keep doing all this work, Timothy. You're overworking yourself far beyond what you need to.
It's what I need to do to keep the railway running, Edward, especially with this war.
But you can't do all the work by yourself. You have colleagues who want to help you, if you would just let us.
I don't need help from anyone. Now stay out of my way and let me do my work.
That wouldn't be the last time I tried to talk some sense into him, but he never listened. This all led to his terrible accident on Halloween night that year, which left us all devastated. And now he has returned to Sodor again.
What do you mean again? Emily asked.
I will tell you all another time. For now, let's get some sleep.
The engines agreed, and one by one, they fell asleep.
That's strange. No one else should be on the line right now. What's on Sodor?
Henry, look.
Who is that?
I don't know. Looks like it might be Donald or Douglas.
I doubt it. They wouldn't be out on the line right now. The midnight goods train was hours ago.
It doesn't look like they're moving. Let's go see who they are and what they're doing.
Good idea. Hello? Who are you? Hello? I have a train to deliver. Move out of my way.
Henry, the number 3 of the Fact-Controlled Railway, had trouble creating steam, then had a horrible accident, and was rebuilt. I wasn't offered that luxury.
What are you talking?
Quiet. Sodor's comeback story. But I'm afraid it has reached the end of the line.
Timothy.
Yes, we meet at last.
Edward has told me who you are. I know what you did to Gordon and James, and I will not let you do the same to me.
Edward has told you a lot about me, but yet you know so little. No one understands the pain I was put through.
Because no one on Sodor knew you before your accident. The only agent who knew you is Edward, so why are you taking out whatever anger you have on the rest of us?
I do not have anger. No one recognizes what I did for the railway. The sacrifices I made to keep my company afloat. If it weren't for me, Sir Pat might not have had enough money to rebuild you. You would have been scrapped. You're lucky that didn't happen. But I'm not so sparing. Are you ready to meet your friends? Because you will all burn in hell!
I have suffered for far too long. The sacrifices I have made to keep this railway running have gone unrecognized, and I have been disrespected. No one wants to help me. No one cares to help me. No one understands the pain I have gone through. The only one who cared was Edward, and even he abandoned me.
You need to face the consequences of your actions.
I don't need to face anything. Perhaps I should just end it all, put myself out of this misery. Yes, tonight will be my last, and I will take those who I have been disrespected by down with me.
And after my demise, perhaps I can return one day and send all my victims to burn in hell!
Come on, Timothy. We must get going. The passengers aren't going to wait forever.
Yes, driver.